So in this particular video, we're going to be looking at the change of base formula that I've seen some of you running into that's created some confusion. So when we talk about the change of base formula, it's really just imagine that we want to rewrite a logarithm as a fraction of logarithms with a new base. And for instance, this one, notice we have a base of 3, right? But when you go to your calculator, if you just click the log button, the one that just says log, notice, right, it says log and it doesn't show a number down there, and that's because it's a base of 10. And so this can easily change this particular base of 3 logarithm into a base of 10 logarithm so that we can calculate it if our calculator doesn't have the function to change the base. And some calculators, depend on which one you're using, you may run into that situation. So I'm going to show you how this works, and then we're going to use our calculator to go ahead and calculate it. So for instance, notice we have a log base 3 of 7 over 12. And notice this change of base formula over here shows that what we do is we're going to simply write this as 2 logs. For instance, we're going to have our denominator is going to be the log and its base, and then the numerator is going to be the log and whatever was in the parentheses. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and just draw an arrow down, and we're going to rewrite this, and it's simply going to be log of 7 over 12. So notice, right, I took this word log and I took this value and I put it as my numerator over log of 3. So notice that 3 and log, I moved it down to the denominator, right? And now I can simply put this in my calculator and I can evaluate it. So I'm going to get my calculator right quick and just show you. And I'm going to go ahead and click the log button on my calculator. And then once I've clicked it, I'm going to put in this 7 over 12. So 7 alpha y equals enter 12. And I'm going to go ahead and put this whole thing in a fraction bar. Okay, and then my denominator is just going to be log of 3. Hit enter, and notice it gives me this value, right? I get this negative value. So negative 0.49. I'm going to write that down. So this is negative 0.4906. All right, so I didn't write all the decimal places, right? But this has been evaluated. This is what I ended up with. Now, our calculators, the TI-84 that we have, these calculators actually will allow you to change the base. And so I'm going to show you that we'll get the same answer if we were to put this original value inside of there. Now this is how we would do it. If we want to get to change a base log, we want to go ahead and hit the math button on here, and then you want to scroll down all the way to get to logarithms. And notice that when we get down here to the bottom, notice it says log and it says base. So we're going to go ahead and go to that option where it says log and base, hit enter. And notice it gives me the option to put a different base in there other than 10. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 3 because, right, this is a base of 3, the original one. And then over here I'm going to hit alpha y equals enter, and I'm going to put 7 over 12. Hit enter, and notice it gives me the same value, right? But you may be using a calculator one day, or maybe in college, depending on what the teacher is allowing you to use, or maybe even your regular math class, depending on what class you're taking. And if you're using a more basic calculator, you may not have that opportunity or that function to be able to change the base. And if that were the case, and the only button you can use is the regular log, which is a base 10, well then you can just convert these, right, using the change of base formula. And you can still evaluate them and get the same answer. So that's the purpose for it, and this is how you do it.